My dear viewers, as a business doctor, I want to emphasize and bring it your notice what is complaints fulfillment. I have traveled across the countries. I have dealt with many of the international vendors and local vendors across the globe. From my experience as a CFO and a finance guy, we should understand and we should make sure that a financial progress is making in the organization, which will be recorded in which are the ways and what are the complaints we have to look into. Why complaints is having a role in business. Complaints is having its own role in every country across the globe. If you travel to Europe, if you travel to US, if you travel to Far East, if you're coming back to the Middle East or in India, every country, they frame its own laws and rules in order to drive the business. So there are certain complaints as a business owner, large scale business owners, small and medium scale, even small scale business people, we have to fulfill and keep the record as per the complaint set by the government. What are the things we have to be looking at? Number one, the major thing is that your banking transaction. So most of the people giving less priority on banking transaction. As a business doctor and as a finance guy, each and every transaction involved in the banking segment, we have to have record properly kept it in our organization. When you are buying goods, when you are selling goods, when you are importing goods, when you are paying customs, when you are paying GST, when you are paying VAT, when you are paying SACA, when you are paying corporate tax, everything should be moved through a banking transaction. What are the important things you have to keep it? Your importation, you have to have your original invoices, your country of origin, and where the goods is you have received. Most of the cases, the movements of the goods based on that, the impact of VAT or GST will be take place. So you have to have a proper documentation of when you are buying the goods. When you are selling the goods also, you have to have a proper invoicing. There are two types of invoicing. One is commercial invoices and second one is the tax invoices. Tax invoices, when you are generating, you should have either GST or VAT, and within the tax frame of that country, you are preparing an invoice. Invoices can be out of scope, zero rated, or with the law set aside by the country. Based on that, you can have the GST or VAT which you can make it. So based on the Incoterms, based on the movements of the goods, the liability of the invoices can be set in the business and which can be reflected. So the complaints fulfillment for importation, you have to have documents like importing goods details, bayan or bill of entry which is passed, or the customs documentation you have to file along with your document. When you are making sales invoices, if it's for export or if it's for mainland or if it's for state to state, you have to have a GST invoice or VAT invoice, that is called tax invoices. The other way around, when you are exporting the goods for another country, you are using the commercial aspects of the transaction which is involved and depicted in the invoices, which is called commercial invoices. LC purpose, the other transaction like other country export, you are using commercial invoices for that purpose. Number two, if any transaction which you are doing with the banking segments or customs or SACA or CST or GST, you have to have proper documentation you have to file along with your importation and export or trading of the activities. So this is a mandatory document. And second thing, when you are transacting anything through bank, the bank also need the documents like invoices from the supplier, or when you are receiving the money, you have to have a commercial invoices which is issued to the customer, or tax invoices issued to the customer. This documentation part, when you are exported the goods and you want to claim back the VAT or GST, you should make sure that the documents is 100% foolproof. That is what the complaints require. And second thing, when you are dealt with any of the customer, you have to have your KYC, not your customer. That is very important in business. You should have a clarity of the customer database, customer complete picturization, which are the countries you are dealt with, which are the customers you are doing the business. The customers, you should make sure that the customers are doing legitimate business in your organization. So you need to have customers KYC or customer onboard application form. You should keep it and create it and keep it in your organization. This is another set of. So onboarding the customer, you have to have a document. Onboarding the vendor, you have to have a documentation. When you are doing the sales, you have to have a tax invoice or commercial invoices. When you are buying the goods also, you have to have your buying goods details, the invoices, and also the customs documentation for the bill of entry or bill of exit document. You have to keep it in your record. My dear viewers, I believe complaints is very important. When you are transacting anything with the bank, you have to have your record properly kept. How you are keeping the goods. I will add those aspects. There are two financial statements which reflects your transaction. One is trading profit and loss account and another one is balance sheet. In each and every organization on a business, you have to keep your trading profit and loss account and also the profitability, what you generated, the expenses, what is happened, what is incurring expenses in your organization, how you are calculating the landed cost of your organization when the product is buying. These all the things are crystal clearly depicted and displayed in your P&L. So P&L is another important document which you need to keep it and present it before the authority. The last one is the balance sheet. Balance sheet reflects the company's financial position, sourcing of the fund and the distribution of the fund, and how your asset is moved, how you acquired the asset, how you acquired the properties, how you acquired the business asset. Everything will be reflected to financial position is called balance sheet. So my dear viewers, you should have trading profit and loss account and you should have the balance sheet. These are very much is required. And also another important area of the document which you need to keep it, your VAT filing or GST filing or SACA filing document, you must keep it in your record on a proper way for future analysis of either from any of the government authorities. I hope this video will help you to structure your organization, fulfillment on complaints basis and move further. Thank you. Signing off by Business Doctor.